Cowboys Nation, it feels like something special is brewing in Dallas this season. You can sense it from the first snap. The energy, the confidence, the rhythm of an offense that finally seems to know who it is. And a lot of that comes down to two names that, let's be honest, didn't exactly dominate headlines when they joined the team. Javonte Williams and Clayton Adams. Both arrived quietly. No massive press conferences, no league-shaking announcements, but both have ended up being absolutely crucial to the Cowboys' success so far this year. Let's start with Javonte. When the Cowboys signed him early in free agency on that one-year, $3 million deal, the move raised eyebrows for all the wrong reasons. People questioned whether he still had that burst, whether the injury he suffered had taken away the explosiveness that once made him so dangerous back at North Carolina and during his rookie days in Denver. The Broncos were more than fine letting him walk. Many around the league thought his best football was behind him. But man, has he proven everyone wrong. Javonte looks faster, stronger, and hungrier than ever. He's hitting holes with conviction, shedding tackles, and turning what should be 2-yard gains into 6 or 7 with pure effort. And it's not just the numbers, though those are impressive too. Top 10 in carries, top 3 in rushing yards, top 4 in yards per attempt, and near the top in rushing touchdowns. The analytics back it up as well. He's among the league leaders in success rate and expected points added per rush. This isn't just a feel-good comeback story. This is a player completely redefining his role and giving Dallas something it's been missing for years, a run game that can actually carry the load when needed. But let's be real. A running back doesn't do all that alone. He needs a system, a plan, a line that understands how to open lanes. That's where Clayton Adams steps in. The Cowboys hired him as offensive coordinator after his stint in Arizona, where he'd built a reputation as one of the best offensive line coaches in football. And right away, his fingerprints are all over this offense. This isn't the same predictable, stale run game that frustrated Cowboys fans the past few years. It's dynamic, it's creative, it's balanced. Adams has introduced new concepts that have completely transformed the way Dallas attacks defenses on the ground. Last season, this offense was painfully one-dimensional. Inside zone, outside zone, rinse and repeat. Nearly 60% of their running plays came from those two concepts, and defenses knew exactly what was coming. The result? Limited explosiveness, no rhythm, and a lot of empty downs. But this year under Adams, it's a different story. Dallas is mixing things up. They're running counters, power, trap plays, even bringing back some misdirection and trick looks that keep defenders guessing. Instead of being predictable, the Cowboys are unpredictable. And that's a massive change. The data proves it. They're now running at least 5 different concepts over 10% of the time, spreading out the attack and forcing defenses to defend the whole field. Counters alone, almost 14% of their runs, are hitting with over 50% success. That's huge. The inside and outside zone plays still exist, but now they're closer to 40% of total runs, not the suffocating 60 we saw before. This diversity makes everything else flow. It helps Javonte find lanes that weren't there last year. It helps the line get into a rhythm. And most importantly, it helps the offense stay ahead of schedule. Now, when you look deeper into the advanced numbers, you see just how dramatic the improvement is. Against light boxes, that's 6 or fewer defenders near the line of scrimmage. Dallas is averaging over 7 yards per carry. Last year, barely 5. That's not a small jump. That's the difference between third and long and moving the chains with ease. Against neutral boxes, they've gone from under 4 yards a carry to well over 4. Even when defenses load up with 8 or more men in the box, Dallas is still gaining an extra yard per carry compared to last season. That shows you the system is working even when the opponent knows what's coming. And if you want more proof that Clayton Adams has changed the game, just take a look at what happened in Arizona after he left. Last season, the Cardinals had one of the most efficient run games in the league, top 5 in success rate, yards per carry, and yards before contact. This year, they've fallen near the bottom in nearly every category. Same players, same personnel, but a completely different result. The only big change? Adams isn't there anymore. That's not a coincidence. His absence is being felt, and his presence in Dallas is paying off. It's rare that a coach who doesn't call plays has such a visible impact, but Adams clearly has. He's helped stabilize an offensive line that's been dealing with constant injuries and shuffling. Dallas has won games even when missing 4 starters up front, and you wouldn't know it by watching the tape. The communication, the technique, the way the line moves is one. That's coaching. And it's turning this unit into one of the most efficient groups in football. Now, some fans have started worrying that the Cowboys might lose Adams after this season, that some other team will swoop in and try to make him a head coach. But there are reasons to believe Dallas might actually hold on to him for a while. For one, he's not a play-calling coordinator, which means teams tend to overlook guys like that. And because his background is in the run game and offensive line, areas the league often undervalues compared to flashy passing coordinators, the demand might not be as high as it should be. That's good news for the Cowboys. And speaking of the Cowboys, it's not just about the scheme. It's about the attitude. This team finally looks like it believes in running the football again. They're not running it just to check a box or stay balanced. They're running it because it's working, because it sets the tone, and because it opens everything else up. The play-action game has started to come alive. The under-center looks have increased dramatically. Dak Prescott is benefiting from a more physical and deceptive offense that keeps defenses off balance. That's what makes this version of the Cowboys so interesting. It's not just about talent anymore. It's about structure. You can see how everything fits together. Javonte's power running complements the offensive line's improved movement. Adams' design creates space for everyone to thrive. Even when the line isn't at full strength, the execution is cleaner, the adjustments quicker. It feels like this offense finally has an identity again. Fans have every right to be excited. The Cowboys are only 28th in run rate, meaning they're not a run-heavy team by any stretch, but they're still among the top 5 in yards per carry and near the top in total rushing efficiency. That tells you just how effective they've been when they do choose to run. Fewer wasted plays, fewer stuffs at the line, and far more explosive gains. They're first in the league in avoiding negative runs and near the top in yards after contact. Even with backup linemen, that's no small feat. All of this circles back to those 2 names, Javonte Williams and Clayton Adams. One proving that he's still got plenty left in the tank. The other proving that the right coaching can completely transform an offense. Together, they've turned what used to be a predictable, uninspired rushing attack into one of the most efficient and creative in the league. And maybe, just maybe, they've laid the foundation for the kind of balanced offense that can finally carry the Cowboys deep into January. What makes this Cowboys story even more fascinating is how every little adjustment seems to connect back to the same core philosophy: control the game through balance. Dallas isn't trying to turn back the clock to the old-school ground-and-pound days, but what Clayton Adams and Brian Schottenheimer have done together is merge that physical mindset with modern concepts. It's a hybrid offense that feels fresh but familiar, and the results are showing up every Sunday. When you watch them now, you can see a rhythm between Dak Prescott and his backfield that wasn't there last year. There's more confidence under center, more patience with reads, and far more synergy between the line and the running back. One of the biggest changes this season has been how often the Cowboys operate under center. It might sound like a small tweak, but it's had a massive effect on their overall efficiency. The offense isn't stuck in shotgun mode anymore, and because of that, the play-action game has exploded. Defenses are biting harder on fakes because they actually have to respect the run threat. When Prescott turns his back to the defense, linebackers hesitate, safeties crash down, and that opens up easy windows for him to hit crossers, seams, and quick-developing routes. The Cowboys haven't looked this balanced in years, and the numbers prove that the shift toward under-center formations is unlocking layers of creativity that just weren't possible before. And here's the thing. This evolution didn't come out of nowhere. It's the product of months of work, trust, and trial and error. Early in the season, there were still some issues. The timing wasn't perfect, and the blocking on some of the more complex runs looked shaky. But you could tell the vision was there. Adams and Schottenheimer stuck with it, refining the details week after week. They found ways to blend gap concepts with zone principles, creating lanes that force defenders into impossible decisions. Now you see linemen pulling with confidence, tight and sealing the edge, and backs reading the second level like they're seeing the future. That's coaching and chemistry working hand in hand. Javonte Williams has become the perfect fit for that vision. He runs angry, but he runs smart. He's patient enough to let blocks develop, yet violent enough to punish defenders when the hole appears. The way he finishes runs sets a tone for the entire offense. Every time he lowers a shoulder and drags a linebacker for 3 extra yards, it fires up the sideline. It sends a message that this offense isn't soft, that it's built to compete in any environment. Rain, cold, fourth quarter, doesn't matter. And that attitude is contagious. You see it in the way the receivers block on the perimeter, in how the offensive line celebrates every big gain, and how the defense feeds off those long physical drives that wear opponents down. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. In what could be the most shocking offseason move in recent memory, whispers are circulating that George Kittle, one of the NFL's premier tight ends, is heading to Dallas to join the Cowboys. While nothing has been officially confirmed, sources close to the team suggest that talks have been progressing at a rapid pace, and fans in Big D are already imagining the possibilities. Kittle, known for his combination of brute strength and unexpected agility, would instantly transform the Cowboys' offensive game plan, giving quarterback Dak Prescott a weapon capable of turning even short-yardage situations into highlight reel plays. The rumor has sent shockwaves through NFL circles, with analysts speculating about how Kittle's arrival could shift the balance of power in the NFC East. Dallas has long been seeking a true game-changer at tight end, and if the deal comes through, it would mark one of the most high-profile acquisitions in recent years. Kittle's presence would not only boost the passing game, but also provide a formidable blocker in the run game, a versatility that few players in the league possess. Fans on social media are already reacting with a mixture of disbelief and excitement, debating which Cowboys receivers will benefit most and how defenses across the league will adjust. Some critics question the logistics, pointing to salary cap constraints and Kittle's own contractual obligations. Yet insiders insist that Dallas is serious and willing to make bold moves to compete at the highest level. Speculation is also rife about whether this could spark a domino effect, prompting other teams to make aggressive roster moves in response. While the NFL world holds its breath for confirmation, one thing is clear. If George Kittle really does don the silver and blue, the Cowboys' offense could enter a new era of dominance. Rumor or reality, this story has already captured the imagination of fans nationwide, offering a tantalizing glimpse of what could be one of the most electrifying seasons in recent memory. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.